Well, hello, everyone. My name is Francisca Blanc. I am with Utah Housing Coalition. Alex Cragen from Utahns Against Hunger is joining us today. Um, the Family Investment Coalition, which is a group of local advocacy organizations and educational organizations, are putting together this webinar series about all of the federal assistance programs that were made available to Utahns because of COVID. And we wanted to address multiple sectors in our advocacy work. And this is our first webinar of the series, and we will talk about food nutrition programs and the child tax credit, specifically to the ones for the people that usually don't have to file a tax return because they don't make enough money to do it. We just want to make sure we get the word out. So with that being said, people who are in the audience, if you have questions throughout the webinar, you can post them in the chat or you can post them in the Q&A. People who will watch this on our YouTube channel afterwards, you can always get in touch with us at Utah Housing Coalition. My email address is fblanc@utahhousing.org. Now I would like to welcome Alex to do his presentation on the work that he does.
Thank you so much. And so, yeah, my name is Alex Craig. I'm the food security advocate at Utahns Against Hunger. Our mission is to increase access to food across the state of Utah. And today I'll be going over federal nutrition programs that are available to members of the public. I'll talk briefly about what their qualifications are, or at least a brief summary of that, where people can apply for them, and sort of the process around those applications if they're available. There will be a couple that I will be glossing over because we only have so much time, and I want to provide enough time to talk about child tax credit. But let's go ahead and get started. So there are a number of programs that are out there. So the one I primarily work with is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, also known as SNAP, formerly known as food stamps. But there are a number of other ones that are available specifically with this pandemic sort of legislation over the last year. One that's already in effect is pandemic EBT. And there's also summer pandemic EBT, it's being called summer PEBT right now. And I'll go over some of that later on. There's the Summer Foods Program, the Women, Infants, and Children's Program, Free and Reduced Price School Meals Program, Senior Congress Meals Program, the Senior Food Boxes Program, and then the Food Distribution Program on Indian Reservations, or FDRIP, I believe is the acronym for it. And anyways, for these last three here, I'll kind of go fairly briefly over those. The Congress Meals Program are available at most senior centers. And if if someone is a member of a tribe, they can contact the FDPIR representative to sign up for the food distribution program there. First, I'll go over SNAP. So SNAP is essentially qualifying households will receive a debit card. It kind of sort of looks like a Visa debit card. It's called a Horizon card. And they can receive a monthly benefit depending on their income and expenses to pay for food items at the grocery store, but it can also be at, say, like a gas station or whoever accepts EBT transactions. They can also use the Double Up Food Bucks program, in which if for every dollar they spend there, they're able to receive $2 in tokens at a local farmers market. And there's a list of those markets available on our website. But the basic guidelines in order to qualify, a household has to be under 130% of the federal poverty level and have assets no less than, depending on if there's a senior or persons with disabilities in the household, $25,000 or $3,250 in assets. And these are things that they have access to own. They own and have access to sell to be a countable asset. In order to apply, most people can go to the website, the Department of Workforce Services at jobs.utah.gov/mycase. If someone doesn't have access to a computer, they can also get a paper application at a DWS office or have someone print one off for them. And then they can submit that through the mail. In terms of the process itself, they ask for the name, the address, and signature of the person. That is what's required to do a complete application, an incomplete application. And then from there, they ask about income, expenses, and other circumstances in the household. Once they submit the application, they have to do an over-the-phone interview with the Department of Workforce Services, and that is not scheduled. They have to call between 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. They can also request an over-the-phone interview. Once someone does the over-the-phone interview, they'll receive a notification for any verification documentation they need to provide to complete eligibility. And then once that eligibility, they receive all that documentation, they can determine someone's eligibility. And the turnaround time around that is about 15 days if somebody provides all that within a reasonable amount of time. The next one is the Senior Food Boxes Program. This one, again, is for individuals over the age of 60, under 130% of the federal poverty level. And this program is administered through the Utah Food Bank. And these food boxes can be either picked up at a certain location, depending on where they live, or there's also the possibility of delivery. The feeds are provided once a month to households. It's about $100 worth of food. This one is Pandemic EBT, and Pandemic EBT was established in the middle of the pandemic as part of a way to address individual households that were receiving free reduced price meals at school, but because they were unable to attend school, being able to provide those benefits to those families. Now, with Pandemic EBT, enrollment for this program is currently closed because this is meant for the school year. That being said, there is another program like this called Summer PBT, which I'll go over in a minute. But in terms of like how people apply, there is no application for Pandemic EBT. The people would have to be enrolled in free and reduced price meals before March 17th of this year. And those households are already receiving those payments for Pandemic EBT. Now, Summer PBT is very similar in that it's just basically the same sort of process in which people have to be enrolled in free or reduced price meals prior to August 1st of this year. So if you know of someone that may be eligible, they can submit their application through their school district in order to be qualified. So there's about a couple of days left in order to submit that application. But it was the same sort of thing. They would get an EBT card in which they're able to spend those dollars at a grocery store to pay for food items. Another program that's available for children is the Summer Foods Program. And these are sites that are across the state in which children under the age of 18 receive a free meal or snack at that site. There is no application process. You show up to receive those meals. The children do not have to be present to pick up those meals. A parent can go and get those they want, currently under current standards there. And then if a parent wants to purchase a meal for themselves, there's usually a nominal fee associated there, but I believe it's under $3. Yeah. The next program is the Women's and Infants and Children's Program, and this is available for households with children under the age of 5, or if someone in the household is pregnant, and they have to be under 185% of the federal poverty level. They would apply online at wic.utah.gov. If they don't have access to a computer, they can go to a WIC clinic that's available in their area. There is a list available on this website here, and they can also reach out to us and we can help them identify a location that's nearest to them. Essentially, the process is you sign up for an online or in-person appointment with the local WIC office. They will meet with the WIC representative, discuss their dietary needs, and from there, if they're determined eligible, they will receive an EWIC card. Now, historically, these have been typically vouchers, they're paper, but now it's sort of been upgraded to a Horizon card type model in which they're able to purchase food with those, as opposed to having to use a voucher system. Free and reduced price meals. This is a program that is for school-age children with households that are under 185% of the federal poverty level. In order to apply, you have to go to your school district's website or their school's website itself. Many of those applications are available online as an electronic form, but there's also some that are available only in paper. but they would have to fill that out and then submit that to the school district. And the number of them are available in English and Spanish, and with, I believe, Salt Lake School District, they're available in multiple other languages as well. So that's a quick overview of those programs. It's a lot of information to cover. I'm happy to talk in more detail. I have about roughly 10 minutes here if you want to ask any questions about specific programs.
So are there any programs that were going to expire soon?
So the question for myself is, I know that the pandemic EBT program for school, I believe that's been extended for a year for this next school year, but I need to double check on that one. But none of, let me go to my very first beginning of the list here. So none of these programs are currently set to expire. However, there have been some significant changes to the SNAP program with regards to expanding eligibility. And we expect some of those temporary expansions to expire later this year. For example, there's been a 15% increase in SNAP benefits, as well as a maximum allocation for households. So regardless of how much you're eligible for, you're now receiving the maximum amount for a household, and we expect that to expire later this year. Oh, you're on mute.
Sorry, I should know by now. Is any of this, are any of these programs asking questions about immigration status?
Yeah, so in terms of immigration status, so with regards to federal nutrition programs, they if somebody is part of a mixed status household, so say for example you have parents that are members of the undocumented community or legal permanent residents that have been here for less than 5 years, but their children are eligible, they can still apply on their behalf. And if when in the application process, they'll ask for like an immigration ID number or social security number. If either the social security number or immigration ID number is not provided, what happens with DWS is they just deem that person ineligible in the household, and they just move from there. They don't share anything with regards to information with immigration services unless they are ordered by the courts to do so.
Okay. And the summer food program, let me see. So the free and reduced price school meals, the food box, those are provided through schools or by Utah Food Bank. So that should not be a concern. Okay. We have 2 questions in Q&A. So Noelle is asking, just to make sure she understood this correctly. Okay, this is the acronym I'm not familiar with. So it's SEBT. You have to be enrolled in free reduced meals by August 1st.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Noel is asking again, is there a deadline for applying for free and reduced lunch?
So you can apply for free and reduced price meals any part of the year, as long as your student is going to be in school for that coming year. So for example, if someone is in the 3rd grade and they're going to the 4th grade, and your circumstances have changed and it's still the summer, that people can still submit applications for free reduced price meals during the summer. So there's no deadline for that program.
It's very good to know. Any other questions from people in the audience? Okay, so this is, Alex, if you like to stop sharing your screen. Okay, Noel is asking another question. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can. And so with regard to summer PBT, that's a good question. I don't have the specifics on that. I would have to refer to my colleague, Neil. So what I would love, Noel, if you could put my contact information in here, shoot me an email with that question, I can get that colleague.
Okay, perfect. So for people watching on YouTube at a later time, Alex's email is Cragen, and it is spelled C-R-A-G-E-N gun@uah.org, which is Utahns Against Hunger. And you can also Google that if you want to get directly to their website. And we have only a few minutes left with Alex. One thing that I forgot to mention at the beginning of the webinar is that the webinar series are intended primarily for case managers, social workers, social services providers, because we want to make sure that people do know everything that is available for our families. And from our perspective at Utah Housing Coalition, when a family has access to the nutrition programs available to them, to utility assistance, to the child tax credit, what it does, it creates housing stability for that family. So this is how housing and nutrition, education, and healthcare all play a part in making sure the family remains safe and healthy in their house. And what I will do, I will post after the recording, I will post some links on the YouTube video, and we're going to create a playlist. This Wednesday, July 28th, 2021, we are focusing on the nutrition programs and the child tax credit. Next week, on August 4th, we're going to talk about healthcare. And also on August 11th, we're going to talk again about healthcare because it's a very complex issue. And we want the experts to be at the table to discuss this. And all of this information is also available on our website, which is utahhousing.org. And right on the homepage, we do have a document that you can download titled Resources for Utah's Renters. And it's a ongoing document that it's updated constantly with whatever information we have. So whatever you are watching through those webinars, we're going to update in that document. So please share this with your network, with your family, church leaders, church members, community groups, whatever. We want to get the word out. That's the most important thing. So Alex, thank you so much for your time.
And real quick, I wanted to also plug, so with regards to resources and information. So on Utahns Against Hunger's website, we have a number of flyers and posters available, as well as lists, directories with regards to many of these programs. We also have a SNAP eligibility calculator to determine if someone may qualify based on sort of the core component to the program. And then on the WIC website, so wic.utah.gov, they also have a screener tool that's available there that's easy to fill out. And then the USDA's website is also a great resource, and the Department of Workforce Services is a great resource for federal nutrition programs. And again, Francesca, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for on this series. I think this is a great idea, and you all have a great rest of your day.
You too, Alex. You take care. So I'm going to do my next presentation. This is not my field of expertise, but one of my colleagues could not be here today. So I would like to talk about the child tax credit that is available to Utahns. And if you'd like just to give me 1 second, I'm trying to get to the right information. So this is our website, which is utahhousing.org. And right on the homepage, we have a number of resources available for renters and homeowners. And one document that we put together is resources for Utah's renters. And we encourage everyone to share this document, but also let us know if we have something wrong or if we need to do updates on it. And I would like now to go directly to the child tax credit. Let's see. Can anyone see the website, Child Tax Credit Non-Filer Sign Up Tool? If you cannot see it, please post it in the chat and let me know. So this is kind of a long website link. That's why you can kind of access it from our documents. So basically what it is that through the American Rescue Plan Act legislation that passed in March of this year, the administration wanted to have a child tax credit available for families that have children under the age of 18 in their household. And those are direct payments. It's called a child tax credit, meaning at the end of the year, the money that you receive every month for your children are not going to be taxable income. And advocates across the country are calling this, you know, a huge investment in our families and a deal breaker in addressing poverty in America. The concern that all advocates have is that the lowest income families might not know about this tool because most of the times they will not file a tax return because they make little money, so they're not obligated to do that. So the IRS has created this online tool. It has a lot of information in it. So it's primarily, it is for families that have children under the age of 18 and they do not file tax returns because they don't have to. They don't make enough money that are required to do so. And this is the tool that where they can sign up. And again, I'm not going to go through it because I don't want to do something that I should not be doing because I should not apply for this. And this is so this is the advanced tax credit that it's available. And I don't have much to add for it because the most important thing is we want to make sure people are accessing this, and I will post this link also in the video after we are done recording. I would like to ask people in attendance if they have any questions about this. Okay, there are no questions. Our intent is to keep this webinar short because we know that people are very busy in their normal working schedules, assisting families in Utah. We just want to make sure we make this available in a very easy way on a video that will gonna be posted on YouTube, and I will ask organizations and advocates to share this within the network. Any feedback that you have for us, please let us know. You can reach us in the office, 801-364-0077. Again, if we're missing anything, please let us know. If something is not correct, please let us know. Just share this information again within your network. And it will be sitting on our YouTube page as a live recording, I think for about 12 hours. And then it will just be there. So that will be the Utah Housing YouTube channel, and you can just go on YouTube and Google Utah Housing Coalition, and you gotta get to our channel. Thank you so much, everyone. Next week, August 4th, we're gonna talk about healthcare. August 11th, we're gonna also talk about healthcare because there are numerous issues that need to be addressing, and we will have the experts facilitating those discussions. Thank you so much, and have a good day.